My name is Andrew Dodson. I was at YFT from 2004 to 2006.
Andrew, if it wasn't for YFT, what would you be doing now? Are there any lessons you learned at YFT when you were here that you still use in your life?
Yeah, I do, but unfortunately, I was one of the kids at the time I was at YFT who was really rebellious. Um, I actually didn't start making good of it until towards the end, and at that point, it was almost too late, and I was shipped to a wilderness camp from boys from here. Um, I wish I would have took what YFT offered from the beginning, but with my mom passing away and having cancer that got sent here, I didn't really care about nothing else. After I lost her, it was downhill slide. I started doing better. There was still something inside me that just wasn't right, and I found who I am married to now, who's my wife. We both have been through similar situations. We met at probation in Richmond. Um, she had found God before me. She got sober before me, and her and her daughter's grandmother has led me back on the right path with God. I attend church now. I try to help out with the church youth ministries. I try to help out with a lot of things with the church, the worship recovery and things like that. And I'm trying to move forward with stuff and help people also in prison through apprentice ministries. I feel like, after all the things I've taken from this world, I feel the need to give back as well now.
What do you regret in your time? And you look back, because you're a full-grown man, obviously, a mature individual, and you have, quite a history. When you look back in your time here, what do you regret that maybe you didn't take advantage of?
I regret I didn't take advantage of a lot of the counseling that was offered at the time, which now I notice that there's a lot more for mental health and behavioral health. The little that we did have then, if I had took advantage of that, I probably wouldn't have ended up doing a lot of the things I did. I do believe that God gives us all our own path, and I feel like that the path that I was given was the path that God had given me for a reason. We all end up having our own stories, and life was a struggle for a long time, and sometimes I wish it didn't happen that way, but if it didn't happen that way, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't be who I am today. And
you mentioned how God had a plan for you, and it would seem to me that you would be one heck of a mentor. And as you see what's going on in our world, and you see as you come here, this building here, in fact, is growth for the needs that you might have had. How important is this mission, do you think?
um, when I was here before, I thought I thought I was at a group home, and they didn't really give two craps about us. But now that I look back, and now that I can see what we have now, that was not the case, and I feel like this is a very big piece of not just for you for tomorrow, but this is a big piece for the world. Like, if we had more places like you for tomorrow, instead of just foster home after foster home after foster home for kids who are struggling in life and losing things in their life, I feel that you wouldn't have as many. Honestly, you wouldn't have as many people committing crimes and stuff as they got older. They would have had the guidance that they were looking for, and some that they weren't. I feel like if we can get more places like YFT right now, just for the kids, not even just for the kids, but even for grown adults, they can make a big difference.
You think kids' problems have changed much? Do you think fundamentally kids are the same, and some of the basic things that you might not have grasped when you were here still would work these days?
Absolutely. The only thing that's changed now is technology. And kids' problems are still going to be the same. They've been the same since before I was even born. And there's mental health problems. Everyone has something wrong. And I wouldn't even call it something wrong, to be honest. I just feel like it's something that needs to be fixed. And just some simple as, having a counselor that really cares and actually looks for your general interest at heart, and just to talk to you is a start. And YFT had offered that, and unfortunately, I was one of the ones that didn't take heed to what I was being offered. But seeing everything here after coming to the country fair for the first time in years, I seen it. I just see the kids here seem different than when I was here. It's less dark. They've brought more light and compassion to this whole thing at YFT.
I mean, that is just a great statement. Tell us about what you're doing now. Tell us about your family. You're doing pretty good. What are you doing for a living?
So I'm what's called a territorial sales lead for the company called OSL, where we sell cell phones through Walmart. We do for all three big companies, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. I'm married, and I have two kids of my own. My son's 15, going to be 16 in January. I have a 13-year-old daughter, and then we also have a 15-year-old daughter who will be 16 in January, who's my stepdaughter. I'm not gonna lie, coming home, I didn't know what was gonna be there for me. I didn't know what I was offered. I didn't know if I was gonna make it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't even come down to, you just gotta get those thoughts out of your head and just put your feet on the ground and keep it moving. And put your thoughts, all those thoughts I had as a kid that I put so much energy into that was negative, if you just put a quarter of that into the positive, it'll change your life.
You're to be commended, sir, because it'd be easy to just kind of accept your fate and live with it. But instead, you've found the Lord. How important has spirituality been to you? This is a campus that was built on those godly principles. I would think that maybe you didn't take advantage of that aspect when you were here either.
No, I sure did not. I actually fought it. We used to go to the church that was down here. It was a big church. I can't remember the name of it. They used to take us there every Sunday night. I used to go in there and just sit, and at that time felt miserable. I didn't open up myself for God. I wanted God to open up for me, and that's not how it works. So what I found is I actually went to see a lady in D.C., and I watched her heal a woman, and it changed everything for me. I realized that the power God has, and everyone has that power and that ability. You just got to trust your faith and walk that path.
With your future ahead of you, I would think you're looking forward to what might come down in your future in a positive way because of the place you're in right now.
Absolutely. I don't look at the negative no more. I see my past as just what it is. It's my past. There's pieces in there that I feel that I can use to maybe help someone else that's going through similar situations as I was. And if I can help one person out of 20, I've done what I came to do.
A comment brings a phrase up to my mind. There's a saying that goes, the past is history, the future's a mystery, the present is a gift. That's why it's called present.
Absolutely.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Right now, man, for me, I'm just at the point in my life where I'm content with what I have, but it doesn't mean I stop trying to strive for more. I feel joy in my life that I haven't had in a long time. The person that I used to be, this interview would never have happened. I would have threw a fit. Nope, don't want to do this. Can't make me. And now when I was offered the opportunity through Gene Jones to do something like this, it wasn't even a second thought. I don't know who's going to hear it. I don't want to know who's going to hear it.
We're going to send it to you when it's done.
Absolutely, that's cool. I like it. But my thing is, I just hope it reaches somebody.